So this week, a report by the Trussell Trust, an anti-poverty charity motivated by Christian principles, raised the alarm over how welfare reform has been affecting the poorest in our society. Now, over the last year, over 400 Trussell Trust food banks have given out 1,182,954 emergency food supply parcels. That's 6.6% more than last year, and 37% of these went to feed children. Now, 43% of all referrals to Trussell Trust food banks made by professionals such as social workers, health visitors or schools liaison officers were because state benefits had either been delayed or changed. And in areas where the new universal credit is being tried out, there's been a 17% rise in referrals for emergency food. Some families having to wait over 6 weeks for their first universal credit payment. How would you design a system where you wouldn't have a better standard of living on welfare than if you were working? How would you design that system?
First, I want to say, if I were the architect of universal credit and responsible for some of this welfare reform, I would not be sleeping at night. We should not be relying on charities to prop up our social security system. That's an opinion. Now I'm going to speak as a scientist. What we're seeing as a consequence of welfare reform is rising child poverty. And soon we're going to have 1 in 4 of all of our children living in poverty, 2/3 of them in houses where somebody works. We're seeing rising infant mortality for the first time in decades. We're seeing a rise in deaths among the frail elderly, tens of thousands. Now, speaking as a citizen, I think we should be outraged at the immorality of those reforms. We should be piling up the body bags in those tiny infant coffins outside number 10 and number 11 Downing Street and making our Prime Minister and Chancellor walk that gamut every day. Because it's outrageous what we're doing. We are punishing the poorest, we are punishing the disabled, we are punishing the sick, and we are doing it at levels unseen of in this country since the end of the Second World War. We should be ashamed of what we're doing.